Hello, welcome to the Power of Three and me, and welcome back if you're returning. It's a haunted story reading. Uh, at Christmas time, what is today? Today's the 21st, so there's 4 more days till Christmas. So things are ramping up. Um, you saw in the title because I already know what the title is, and the storyline has already come through days ago. Um, I feel like somebody's anticipating because they know they're used to it. It's around alcoholism. It's around a haunting. It's around something that takes over and gets worse and ramps up at Christmas time. So remember that this is just a story. I'm going to start moving these decks now. This is just a haunted story reading for everybody, but it's going to be true for somebody somewhere. And if this resonates with you in some way, because it's possible it might, because the issues that go on in our lives don't cease to be because Christmas is here. Sometimes, excuse me, they get worse. So if we have a family member, for instance, that's living in a house that has activity in it, because the same kind of thing maybe went on and somebody passed. This is what came through. Somebody passed eons ago on that land from alcoholism at Christmas time. So that's why it ramps up at that time. But there's stuff that goes on throughout. Now, the person that struggles in this life now with alcoholism notices it, but not as much. They drink so much that they are passed out most of the time. And we're talking, and I've experienced this too, but some people drink to the point where things let go, if you know what I mean. That's not a nice thing to wake up to. So, especially if you have kids, you don't want to wake up to something like that, a scene like that, and a mess like that on Christmas morning. It causes arguments, it causes stress, it causes all kinds of things. So, and hauntings and, you know, malevolent beings will say that are will take advantage of people. A lot of these things feed off of us, okay? So your fear, um, whatever. So I know if you've got any experience with this kind of stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But our storyline now is with the living and in this house where they're getting ready for Christmas, but the other family members know what one family member is like when it comes to any excuse to drink, okay? So we know what that is, what the storyline is now, and we know it's a haunting. So let's start this off and see what comes out. I'll let you know the decks I'm using. So we go. Start with the Holy Spirit. Two came out, which is unusual, but okay, we'll go with it. You are the light of the world. Okay, that's what Christmas is about. Yeshua being born into this world, right? That's what Christmas is about. Have faith in God. Well, that's another story. I think that I think that people have had faith in God and they've been severely let down. There's a reason for that, but we're going to keep moving on now for the overall energy. We're using the moon. What the heck is this deck called? The moonology. So let's see what comes up because I have a feeling that this particular overall energy is going to be around Christmas Eve. Okay. I'm not saying that's going to be the specific moon that it actually is on the calendar, but it's definitely going to be the energy in this home in our haunted story reading. We got the end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. Um, whether that's I feel like I don't know why are you doing that? Sorry, guys. Um, the end of a tough cycle is the end of a tough cycle approaches. So, in one aspect, this can be one of the main characters, okay, because obviously we have a family. I feel like we have a family, okay? Probably a wife and a husband. One of them drinks too much, especially at Christmas time, and tends to put pressure instead of fun into it. So whether it's just getting through the night for the other person and the rest of the family, getting to, where the sun comes up, because there's also haunted things that go on as well. And the person that's drinking isn't very helpful. They're feeding it by their behavior. Um, I feel like it's an anxious feeling of getting through another Christmas, getting through maybe doors slamming. Uh, what I heard just now was extreme, terrible nightmares, which, by the way, I had two of them this morning. The shift that I'm working now, I have to get up and feed everybody here, and then I go back to bed early and kind of get up mid morning. So I did that, but I woke up to use the facilities, but I was having a dream, bad dream, and then I go back to sleep for not even that long and have another one. So I'm like, I'm getting up. This is ridiculous. Um, for some of the people in this house, that's what, the Christmas Eve, you shouldn't be having nightmares, but they do. So again, as soon as you wake up on Christmas morning, instead of thinking about all the things that, your neighbors and friends are doing, basically, um, you're sitting there thinking about this creepy dream that you had and worried about maybe what you're going to see when you go out into the main part of the house. Things may be destroyed, thrown, cupboard doors open, and you don't know whether it's somebody that was drinking too much that got up and did it, or did something else do it, because they don't look like they moved. It's a complete distraction from the festivities of Christmas morning and the night before Christmas. And and I feel like that kind of stuff does happen because that's maybe what happened a lot through the years, and that's why it's so heavy there, because it may have went on for 20, 30 years, um, 100 years ago, but that will continue on, right? And if that kind of energy in the living is there now, well, that's just something for it to feed off of. So the supporting energy is coming from the naughty oracle. So let's see what comes out. Supporting energy for our haunted story reading. 'Twas the night before Christmas. What is in this house? Basically, right? Supporting energy, please. Oh boy. We have dickweed death. New beginnings are needed. Dickweed death, to me, right away, it's like something that could have been absolutely avoided. You know, somebody could have made better choices and not drank themselves to death. right? And there's no hope for that soul, but the soul that's here now and the living in our story, there is, right? There's always, it's never too late. You can always try. So, um, I think, okay, we've got the Nightmare Before Christmas here, so let's use that for the main spread. See what comes out for our rest of our storyline. December 2025. Our haunted story reading was the night before Christmas. What is in this house? Collector story. We have the Ace of Pentacles. I almost feel like this is the youngins in this house that are looking forward to that moment when they wake up to see what gifts are under the tree, what did Santa Claus bring, that kind of thing, right? Always still looking for the joy, or you're trying to bring that and keep things grounded for a day. Ace one for one day, keep things grounded to keep things nice for the kids, keep them happy, keep a smile on their face. We have the magician. So there is one of the two in the couple that try to keep the magic happening despite what's going on, maybe right in front of everybody, so not easy. And the magician also could be the only character, the only adult in the room, basically, we'll say, even though there's two adults. Uh, like I say, trying to magician things, cover them up, okay? Trying to, um, like I think that this our main character that's in control here probably knows enough now to get up and kind of check things first before the kids get up because I with the magician also I feel like they know that there's going to be unexplained activity um that you can't even maybe possibly blame on the person that passed out and couldn't even get up to the bathroom, so to speak. So trying to keep things under control with this magician energy. Um, the little one's standing on a book, so I just feel like they're trying to control the narrative for the youngins, so they don't know everything that's going on. And we have the Hierophant, higher authority. I feel like this is you possibly getting ready. Maybe it's the only time of year that you can get to church or get your whole family to go to churches, maybe on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. That's what I feel. Bottom of the deck. Jeepers creepers. Look at this. It's here twice. I can't get it. Death at the bottom. But they're saying that whatever church it is that these people attend, there's a cemetery right there with it. Not all churches, a lot of churches don't have cemeteries with them, but the older churches do. And maybe, just maybe, there's something about that cemetery that, you know, yeah, the empress of this story, the one that is the magician, the one that tries to keep things as kosher as possible when they're not, when they deal with a alcoholic father, we'll say, and also strange going on in the house that amp up at Christmas time. But there's something about the cemetery, and I feel like this church and this cemetery is close to the house, and it's old, really old. And it speaks to this empress because this one of the souls that are belong to that house are possibly buried in this graveyard. But she probably doesn't know that yet. The moon is there, so she doesn't know that. But there's something about the cemetery that creeps her out. You give me? It's like, oh, I just hate that cemetery. You know what I mean? And just go on with your day. Well, there's more to it than that. So we're using the, I don't know why this is different for me to say, horror tarot. It's just weird for me, my brain, and my mouth to want to say that. I don't know why. Anyway, I have to slow down to say it right. And it's also a difficult card for me to see in the lighting in here. I don't know. Hopefully I can see what it is. Let's clarify our haunted story reading. Twas the night before Christmas. What is in this house? See if we can get a little more on that. Okay, I gotta take that. All right, this is the uh what the heck? Oh, here, I can fix it. Um, do you believe that? It's because the writing is it's on black there, page of wands. Page of wands, messenger. I feel like this messenger is uh, it's possibly this Christmas you're gonna see the female entity that had to deal the same issues 100 years ago on that property. Only their storyline didn't turn out well at all. Okay, there was death and more death. And we have um, the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. They had lots of money. And a lot of times when there's excess money and no accountability, and I mean, 100 years ago, things were different, right? Um, things were a lot more contained behind the walls, a lot more controlled in a different way, not government controlled, but abusive control, that kind of thing. Um, appearances had to be kept up, that kind of thing. Whether it was whatever it was, right? That's what the hair fund is here for, because like say 100 years ago, if they didn't divorce, you were stuck with what you married till death do you part, and that's I think maybe literally maybe what happened. Um, so oh yeah, I just the creepiest confirmation. Okay, under the hair font. uh, this is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, yeah. I feel like um Yeah, it was bad. So what happened was is there was a very female back then stood up for herself. This the Page of Wands, okay? Clarifying the Ace of Pentacles. Um, got attacked. It took her life, and then they just literally drank themselves to death after that. Right after, like literally, like they were both found dead, but one was taken out, and the other one just literally drank themselves till they were gone. Bottom of this deck. Mm. Um, Page of Pentacles. It's here twice. No, that's Ace of Pentacles. This is Page. But pages are young, see? And this Ace of Pentacles, I picked up a youthful energy, keeping things covered up, keeping things looking normal for the kids. The Page, keeping things like making sure that there's gifts there and they're opening their gifts and everything is as normal as possible. Behind that is, I gotta see this because I can see the kind of picture. I want to see what it is. Uh, it's the Eight of Wands. A lot of movement, I feel, because it's very, very creepy. It's very, 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 very creepy. This Eight of Wands. It's like there's a creature there. And the wands are all like something that you wanna like I feel like again coming back to where is it? This Page of Wands, I feel like the female that was taken out years and years ago, okay, 100 years ago, she's gonna show herself this Christmas somehow to the Empress that is there now healing. Okay. Let's get our advice here on our haunted story reading. This is the Sun Tarot. Advice for our haunted story reading. You are the light of the world. Have faith in God. The end of tough cycle approaches. Dickweed death. Bluff. See? Bluff. It's almost why I think our character sometimes wonders herself because she looks at things from the past. She looks at her own life. The prayers seem to go nowhere. Nothing ever seems to turn out the way you want, and then you think to yourself, yeah, and I'm not even supposed to want anything. I'm supposed to want the will of God. See? Have faith in God. You are the light of the world. It's two opposites. Two opposites. Feminine's paying attention. She's trying to cover it all and realizing that it's all a bluff. Well, there you go. One sec. I just literally knocked half the deck off. Oh, boy. Wow. I feel like I knocked that off too, and two, was it two or three? Flipped up. And pay attention to what they were, see? Because it's some things happen and you just kind of move along, like being creeped out about the cemetery. Oh, just move along. That's weird. Move along. But me knocking that many cards over, two of them flipping and the rest of them going that much farther, there was a lot. Look at them all. That's a lot. It's like I say, waking up and she wakes up in the morning and there's stuff everywhere where it's like Did they do that? They were like that when I went to bed. They don't look like they've moved, but yet something has tore this house apart. Everything is open, pulled out, on the floor. You follow me? There's this page of wands here, our page of wands, she's trying to get, she looks like a bride too. She's a bride. Okay? She's trying to get her attention. That she's worried. The entity, the female entity that got taken out by her spouse 100 years ago is worried that's what's going to happen to the Empress now in that house. Okay? Because her spouse is doing the same thing. But it's probably creeping her out. And I feel like she's trying to get her to go to the cemetery to find her name to start looking into what happened years ago. So ripping the house apart, I guess it's the only way she thinks she can get her attention. All right, let's see what comes out for her. Our page of wands, our bride empress energy that is now trying to get the empress's energy in real life now. Well, not real life, but you know what I mean. The living under the Ace of Pentacles. Negotiation, see? Um, it's not really a negotiate, but she tried to negotiate and it didn't get her too far. But she's trying to, you see how her arms are up in the air? Negotiate. It's trying to get her attention. You know what I mean? Like, hey, over here, the light and the dark. It's like, I feel like it's day and night, but it amps up at that time because that's when it's happened. Um, the Nine of Pentacles under the Magician. Prince. See, the Magician. She just battles this on a daily basis, covers it up, cleans it up, tries to ignore it, um, tries to make things seem better than they are, and just keeps going and keeps going. But uh, the ghost here, we'll call it the ghost, the entity, whatever she is, the spirit, she's doing that for a reason. She's trying to get her attention, but she's trying to help her. But it won't seem like that to the living at all. Okay. Unless they look into it, unless they really notice to try and figure out what is going on here, it's not going to seem like it. Under the, this is the Knight of Swords under the Magician Enterprise. See, why? It's funny. It's a hand too, but Enterprise. 100 years ago, a long, long time ago, like that, you couldn't get divorced. Okay, it's just it's just the way things were. Um, Depending on the culture, whatever, everybody's different. But for some, once you get married, that's it. Um, so, there was no getting away. And I'm pretty sure that 100-year-old spirit is not going to know about the changes in law and blah, 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 or whatever, however things are modern day. Exultant, exaltation, exalted. And charity behind that. Like it's not a defense behind that, even though it's a haunting and it's disturbing for the Empress here living, it's not meant to be. So hopefully the situation gets to the point where she understands that she's being drawn to certain places. She's drawn to that cemetery, but she's scared of it at the same time, so she doesn't want to go anywhere near it, but yet it creeps her out and she focuses on it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it's interesting. This does open us up for a part two, but um, I people don't usually ask for a part two, but if you would like part two on it, you can do that. Just put PT2 in the comments of this video, and I will do a part two as soon as I can. Because Christmas is very close, and um, well, we'll see what I can do. With the weeny bit of time I will get off. Uh, yeah, this is interesting how this is. So we're going to use the everyday angel guidance, which now I see because I've never used this for a closer, especially for a haunted story reading, but I can see now why. With how the storyline is gone, I can see why. Because this the Empress that's trying to the magician here, she's trying to hold everything up, keep things normal, deal with all the extra endurance there is at Christmas time with things vamping up in the spirit world, and the drinking is a lot more heavier at Christmas time, where things get way worse. So you can see why everyday angel guidance would be here because the spirit is actually trying to be a guardian angel in the sense she's worried that that's, maybe she thinks it's like gonna, the same thing's gonna happen. So let's see what comes out for our character to close out our haunted story reading for December 2025. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Again, feel free to make a comment or put PC2 for a part two. If not, well, say that. Let's close this out for now for the collective. Please close our haunted story reading out and give our character the daily angel guidance they need. Hey, beloved one, it's time to set aside work for a while. Don't worry. We will oversee your responsibilities to their completion. Playfulness, gaiety, and laughter will lift your energy, that you'll return to work with a renewed perspective, and a heightened energy. Um, you see, this is takes us back to the Ace of Pentacles, where I said to try to keep things covered up. No problem here. You know, the spirit activity, don't mention it, explain it away, clean it up, fix things. Everything's fine. Keep things playful, keep things light. It's good for you as well. No, you're not in denial, but any with this endurance here, I feel like feel like you're in it for the long haul and you're going to do the best you can do to make everybody's life as best as you can, even though you can't control everything that you wish you could. That is I'm not saying you, but I'm saying to the character, our character here, and this family being affected, especially at Christmas time. But again, guys, I hope that you enjoy this. It's not an enjoyable storyline, but for anybody to have to, but it's just a haunted story reading. So take it as you will, okay? It's entertainment. So I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season. If you don't celebrate and it's not any sort of celebration for you, just take whatever time you can to, rest and reflect. And that's it. Take care, guys. I see you again for another one. Bye for now.